Fire. Is it burning and eternal flame? Okay. Chapter 11.
Burn, baby, burn.
Not a disco inferno in this case. It's just a flat-out inferno.
Yeah.
Our Father in heaven, we thank thee very much that we're able to be together today. We thank thee for thy many blessings. We thank thee for this chance to be together and to read thy word. We ask thee to please bless us, that we will have peace in our house, in our lives, and in our future. Please help us to learn and understand what we need to know. And please help us to share this knowledge with others so that we may all have peace in our world and come to love one another fully. We thank thee for thy many blessings. We say these things and do so humbly in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
Alrighty, chapter 11. Fire from the Lord consumes the rebels in Israel. Something tells me there's more than a... Well, I know that there's many times that this happens, but Israel murmurs and lusts for meat. Oh, this is the gross one.
Wait, what?
Instead of manna. Israel murmurs and lusts for meat instead of manna. Moses complains that he cannot bear the burden alone. He is commanded to choose 70 elders to assist him. The Lord promises meat until it becomes loathsome to the Israelites. Yeah. The 70 elders are chosen. They prophesy. The Lord comes down, and Eldad and Medad prophesy in the camp. Israel is provided with quail. The people lust. A great plague follows, and many die. Yeah, this is the gross one.
Oh, wait. So instead of the manna that comes in the day, in comes the quail, and if they do not collect the right number of quail, it becomes to be very, very bad.
No. In this case, they have a flock of however many millions or whatever of birds. Millions or however many birds get blown into camp. And some people just make up multiple pots of cooked bird and stuff themselves until they
Are sick.
and die because we'll just have to read it. It's gross.
Okay. And when the people complained, it displeased the Lord, and the Lord heard it, and his anger was kindled, and the fire of the Lord burnt among them, and consumed them that were in the uttermost parts of the camp. Yikes.
Now, I have to say that, depending on the care that people were taking of trash and other things that were building up, this could be the Chicago fire. A cow kicked over a lamp and the whole place went up. And that wasn't the most deadly fire that day, but, that was the most famous one because everybody talked about it. But this could be that somebody made a mistake, and because they weren't following all of the practices, they had, piles of trash or something beside their house, and that burned and it spread to neighboring tents. But the other part of it is, the people who were like-minded were gathered together, and they were being a bit rebellious. And so when something happened to cause a fire, the people who were all gathered together, who were like, we don't like Moses and we don't like being out of Egypt and whatever else they were complaining about, are the ones that
got hurt.
Right. So we could look at it both ways, but the point is, there were people who died who had been... There were people who were rebelling and saying, we don't like what's going on, and they're the ones that ended up in the fire and getting killed and whatever else. So...
2 for you.
And the people cried unto Moses, and when Moses prayed unto the Lord, the fire was quenched.
And he called the name of the place Taberah.
Taberah?
Because of the fire of the Lord burnt among them.
And the mixed multitude that was among them fell a lusting. Lusting? Okay. And the children of Israel also wept again and said, who shall give us flesh to eat?
We remember the fish which we did eat in Egypt freely, the cucumbers and the melons and the leeks and the onions and the garlic. That is not how you spell garlic.
It could be the Old English way of saying it. So, spelling it. But now our soul is dried away. There is nothing at all besides this manna before our eyes. You know, the leeks and onions, even if it wasn't all that much, it was still a flavor, you know, and they've been eating this plain boring stuff for all this time. So they're like, give us some flavor, give us some spice, and hey, we had some meat too. That we're feeling like we need some meat.
For years I've eaten nothing but manna. I dish that is filling but plain.
Yes.
Bland.
Either way.
And the manna was as a coriander seed, and the color thereof as the color of bdellium. What's that supposed to be?
Bdellium.
Isn't coriander spicy?
Well, it was the size and shape.
Oh, okay.
It's not that it was a coriander seed.
Okay.
What's bdellium? Let's look that up real quick. Open. Okay. Bdellium. Bdellium. It's there. A fragrant gum resin similar to myrrh obtained from certain trees in the Commiphora genus and is mentioned in the Bible, particularly Genesis and Numbers. Yeah, it looks like semi-transparent oleogum resin extracted from Commiphora wig tea plants.
It, to me, kind of looks like some kind of wax.
A fragrant resin produced by a number of trees related to myrrh used in perfumes. So it's their the color. So it's the size of a coriander seed, but it's a dark brown in color.
Ugh. Makes me think of buffalo chips. If you know, you know.
Yeah, well, you know, poop is poop. But I don't know. It obviously kept the people alive. So
Don't be a kid who ate it in that movie.
yeah, and the people went about and gathered it and ground it in mills or beat it in a mortar and baked it in pans and made cakes of it. And the taste of it was as the taste of fresh oil.
And when the dew fell upon the camp in the night, the manna fell upon it.
Then Moses heard the people weep throughout their families, every man in the door of his tent, and the anger of the Lord was kindled greatly. Moses also was displeased.
And Moses said unto the Lord, Wherefore hast thou afflicted thy servant, and wherefore have I not found favor in thy sight, that thou layest the burden of all this people upon me? He's murmuring.
A little bit, I guess, but this is an interesting. Was this about the time his father-in-law showed up? Because we don't know if this is. I mean, the
timetable's a wheel.
Yeah. So, I mean, the 70 elders, I swear, went up into Mount Sinai with him. So
He kept saying elders, so probably.
yeah. So this is about the time his father-in-law showed up and said, hey, you don't need to be doing this all by yourself. So everybody's having problems because Moses is doing this all by himself. So this might be where that came from. Have I conceived all this people? Have I begotten them, that thou shouldst say unto me, carry them in thy bosom, as a nursing father beareth a sucking child in the land which thou swarest unto their fathers?
Whence should I have flesh to give unto all this people? For they weep unto me, saying, Give us flesh that we may eat.
We haven't had meat in so long, man. Give us something that's meat. I am not able to bear all this people alone, because it is too heavy for me.
And if thou deal thus with me, kill me, I pray thee, out of hand, if I have found favor in thy sight, and let me not see my wretchedness, out of hand or immediately.
Yeah. I don't want to do this anymore. Just take me out and let me be. And God's like,
I need a vacation.
yeah, seriously. And God's like, okay, let's do this right. First off, your father-in-law is going to show up, and help you understand that you're doing it wrong. But also the Lord said unto Moses, gather unto me 70 men of the elders of Israel, whom thou knowest to be the elders of the people and officers over them, and bring them unto the tabernacle of the congregation in a meeting, that they may stand there with thee.
And I will come down and talk with thee there, and I will take of the Spirit which is upon thee, and will put it upon them, and they shall bear the burden of the people with me, that thou bear it not thyself alone.
With me? Did you say me or thee?
Oh, I probably said me.
Anyhow.
Bear the
so
burden of the people with thee.
Yeah, delegate responsibilities, make it easier on yourself. And I'm sure that Moses had an idea of how to run he knew how to run a country, so this wasn't outside of his
realm of understanding.
Right. I was going to say something slightly different, but that's the best way to put it, probably. Wheelhouse. But it still would have taken a little while to organize everything, even as they were working hard to get it all to work. So, either way. And say thou unto the people, sanctify yourselves against tomorrow, and ye shall eat flesh. For ye have wept in the ears of the Lord, saying, who shall give us flesh to eat? For it was well with us in Egypt. Therefore the Lord will give you flesh, and ye shall eat.
Ye shall not eat 1 day, nor 2 days, nor 5 days, neither 10 days, nor 20 days.
But even a whole month, it will... This just makes me want to be sick. Until it come out at your nostrils, and it be loathsome unto you, because ye have despised the Lord which is among you, and have wept before him, saying, why came we forth out of Egypt?
And Moses said, the people among whom I am are 600,000 footmen, and thou hast said, I will give them flesh, that they may eat a whole month.
Shall the flocks and the herds be slain for them to suffice them, or shall all the fish of the sea be gathered together for them to suffice them?
And the Lord said unto Moses, is the Lord's hand waxed short? Thou shalt see now whether my word shall come to pass unto thee or not.
It's interesting that even Moses, after all of this time, is going, how are you going to pull that off?
Have you forgotten the frogs?
Yeah, just the whole, wow. Yeah. I don't know how that will happen. Are you sure? Dude, I'm God. Just wait.
He'd probably look at him like, really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. That's kind of what this verse is. Is the Lord's hand waxed short? I mean, come on. I can do anything.
Hello, I could throw a thunderbolt at you right now.
Yeah. And Moses went out and told the people the words of the Lord, and gathered the 70 men of the elders of the people, and set them round about the tabernacle.
And the Lord came down in a cloud, and spake unto him, and took of the Spirit that was upon him, and gave it unto the 70 elders. And it came to pass that when the Spirit rested upon them, they prophesied and did not cease.
And this is neat.
I don't know why, but my brain just suddenly imagined them spouting tongue twisters. I don't know why.
But, it may have been, for the people that I am over, I'm going to have this happen, and what did they prophesy, and how far did it extend into the future and into the past and into understandings? Just some neat stuff. We can all receive revelation and understanding for ourselves. So each of these elders had a section of the camp. Did they talk about each individual person in their camp? It just would have been neat to have that recorded. What kind of things they talked about for this prophecy. But there remained 2 of the men in the camp. The name of the one was Eldad, and the name of the other Medad. And the Spirit rested upon them, and they were of them that were written, but went not out unto the tabernacle. And they prophesied in the camp.
And there ran a young man and told Moses and said, Elad and Medad do prophesy in the camp.
And Joshua, the son of Nun, what was Nun? Oh well. The servant of Moses, one of his young men, answered and said, My lord Moses, forbid them.
And Moses said unto him,
Envious.
Envious thou for my sake? Would God that all the Lord's people were prophets, and the Lord would put his spirit upon them. And Moses gat him into the camp, and he and the elders of Israel.
That would be neat. This whole thing. But then somebody comes up and says, "Hey, these two guys are prophesying in the camp. What's going on? Why don't you stop them?" And Moses is like, "Dude, take the load off of me. I wish everybody would take the load off of me. That's great that these guys are doing this."
Okay. I wasn't understanding that sentence at first. And there went forth a wind from the Lord, and brought quails from the sea, and let them fall by the camp, as it were a day's journey on this side, and as it were a day's journey on the other side, round about the camp, and it were 2 cubits high upon the face of the earth.
Holy Moses.
A pile of birds that big?
That's a day's journey is, let's be nice and say 6 to 10 miles. So 20 miles wide, 6 feet deep. Right? 2 cubits. No. Yeah. 3 feet deep.
Mm-hmm.
Dang. Just the number of quails. Wow.
Oh, jeez.
6
I
to...
kicked it, sorry.
That's okay. Dang.
No wonder they would get sick.
Yeah, just wow. It could have been as much as a 20-mile radius around the camp, 3 feet deep.
Surrounded by birds.
Just the number of animals to begin with, that would have been millions upon millions, if not billions of birds.
Oh, jeez.
Wow, that is a massive number. Think of the what was it? The passenger pigeon, I think it was, that would fly across the southeast, and it got extinct because people were like, there's so many of them, they'll never run out. And we ran out.
They were killing them for food.
Yeah, they literally were shipping them by the truckload into cities.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, but they estimated that the number of birds in a flock when they first started really wiping them out was in the billions upon billions, and it was, 3 to 5 days of birds flying overhead.
Okay.
Yeah, and this, I mean, it could have been billion, but either way, there's just a massive, massive number of birds. And the people stood up all that day and all that night and all the next day, and they gathered the quails. He that gathered least gathered 10 homers. And a homer is 5 or 10 bushels.
Oh, jeez.
So, imagine a vessel about this tall and about, the width of the fireplace to about where the camera is, full of birds. And that would have been maybe the lowest. I'm not sure that would be, but either way, massive, massive numbers. The 10 homers, and they spread them all abroad for themselves round about the camp.
And while the flesh was yet between their teeth, ere it was chewed, the wrath of the Lord was kindled against the people, and the Lord smote the people with a great plague.
So, yeah, the
What are
people,
they doing?
they ate so much that they started vomiting.
They became sick.
And other things, and it killed them. And maybe there was some sickness with the birds, who knows. And he called the name of that place the graves of lust, Kibroth Hatava, because there they buried the people that lusted. And it's not that they were lusting sexually, it's that they were saying, we want meat. They were lusting after something that they didn't have.
And the people journeyed from that location. I'm not going to try that one. Unto Hazeroth in a boat in Hazeroth.
So
Hazeroth.
They traveled from there to another place. Yeah.
Geez.
That one if you really go into all of the what could have happened here, it's
Bird flu, overeating.
many things, and it's just gross because, yeah, they had a lot of people get sick and die for eating. Yeah. Anyhow, a good lesson in don't be that way.
Too much of any a good thing is bad.
Too much of anything is simply too much. It doesn't matter, a dropper full of arsenic or something like that is too much, and a tank full of water when you don't have any air with it to breathe is too much. Just
True
all
enough.
of the things that it can be a really good thing, but you do it the wrong way and it's too much. So, wow. So they have their camp, and they have the 70 elders to delegate Moses' power, and they are the leaders of the congregation and all of the people.
Is that why we have a quorum of the 70?
That's one of the reasons.
Thought so.
So yeah, there's lots of reasons why God has a very similar layout for everything that he does all the way through. So
Consistency.
hey, that's the way God is. Things may change slightly, but it's always the same.
Statement with the statement of Fallout, war never changes.
Yeah.
I have an add to that. War never changes because human nature doesn't.
That's really what it's about.
The way that we fight it may change, but the reason is still the same, usually.
Yeah, well,
99% of the time.
it's either greed or hate, and they could be the same.
True enough.
Anyhow, tomorrow we'll go into another problem and possible, no, it's not a death, but it's still going to be a sad thing. So we'll see you then.
Bye.
Bye.